pretty rough. We're trying to perk up the neighborhood and save this old place because it was a pretty neat old house and definitely worth saving.
When you go with this peachy color eyeshadow, then it really can bring out the blue in your eyes. So would you like to tell them where you were headed this morning?
No.
And why you were headed there this morning? And how many times has this happened before?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to go to the dentist to try to get a crown glued back on for the second time because of caramel.
He's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy.
Your daddy was eating caramel.
That's a normal thing to do.
Tell them what your dentist said the first time this happened.
Oh, I fully expected him to say, oh, bad, 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 and all that. And he said, well, how'd you do it? And I said, I was eating a caramel apple. He said, ooh, I love caramel apples.
Him and his brother have been doing a renovation project. And before we can actually start building our home, another home again, we've got to sell this one.
Yep.
So they've worked really, really hard. And this flip was a major mess in the beginning, right?
Oh, it was bad. It was extremely filthy and very uncared for.
If we can find anything, I will try to post a little bit of a before and after. I think it's just mostly the exterior of the house, a before and after. But it is amazing how far it's come. So we'll bring you along for that today. Okay, so since we are doing a day in the life video, I thought I would show you this scary face this morning. This is just a raw and realistic routine that I do in the morning. I am definitely not a professional at this by any means, but I just thought I would show you, share with a little bit of the products that I use, and you might find something that you might be interested in using. I would love to say that I have a clear and non-blemish face, but that is not true. I think after I had my children, I developed Malaysia pretty bad, so I have some dark spots. It comes and goes. If I'm in the sun too much, it gets really, really bad, so I have to be very, very careful. I wish that I had listened when I was younger and applied sunscreen. I did use sunscreen, but not, had I known then what I know now, I definitely would have used it more. So this morning I have cleansed my face, and I like to use these Cetaphil gentle cleansing cloths. And then I have applied Cerave hydrating mineral sunscreen. This is SPF 50. So ladies, please make sure that you are applying sunscreen. Young ladies especially, and your future self will thank you. But you live and learn. So that is something that I would highly recommend. So after I put my sunscreen on, I use Estee Lauder. This is a double wear stay in place makeup. I like the double wear because it does cover a little. You do have more full coverage, especially if you have darker spots like I do. I also like to mix makeup, so this is a little bit of a higher end product, but I do not think that you need to buy all makeup higher end. So I also like to use Shine Cosmetics. I have quite a few things from them. This is the concealer. Sometimes I have a little bit darker spots on my nose and on my cheeks that I want just a little bit more coverage that the foundation doesn't do. So then I apply a little bit of this. This is Color Radiant. I also really like their Be Humble eyeshadow palette. Sorry, this is real life here. This has been used quite a lot. You can see my favorite colors here are almost gone. So I really like these neutral brown shades. I use this a lot in the fall. I also like their eyebrow pencil. It is more of a waxy texture when you're applying it on your eyebrows. It just gives you a little bit more definition and color. They also have a bronzer that I like. This is the color Power. So if you just want a little bit of color to your face for the summer, this is a really good bronzer. About a year ago, I found this Bali Body Instant Tan. This gives you an airbrush look. You can use it all over your body. I like to also apply this to my face, and it just gives you a little bit of a glow for the summer. I just like to apply it just a little bit around the upper part of my face, kind of where the sun would naturally hit your face, along your cheekbones, along the ridge of your nose, and then I just blend that in with a brush and chin, and then I go along my neckline just to make it blend a little bit better. And ladies, if there is anyone else out there that suffers with dark spots, let me know down in the comments. I'm always looking for suggestions. I know that you can do laser treatments. They can do things like that, but those are a little bit more expensive and more than I want to pay to have done currently. Maybe sometime in the future. But I've just been trying to work on just natural coverage for now. And after that, like I said, I mix my makeup. So this is actually CoverGirl's blush. I think the color is Iced Plum. You know, some people like to go up front, but I like to come back a little bit towards your ear. I just think it gives your cheekbones more definition. And then I just put a little across the ridge of my nose. And then for a little bit more color and fun for the summer, this just came from the Dollar General. This is their Believe Beauty line, and the palette is called Sultry Sunset. And I have blue eyes, and I feel like when you go with this peachy color eyeshadow, that it really can bring out the blue in your eyes. And then I do use a little bit of eyeliner. This is just CoverGirl. So I applied that to the top of my eyes. I think it just helps makes your eyelashes look a little bit fuller. And then I just put a little bit on my lower lid. I used to go all the way across, but I just think it makes it too heavy. So I just do a little bit in the corners. And I think it makes your eyes pop, just to make sure eyes look really big. And then for my eyelashes, I like to use the Brooklyn and Bailey mascara. This is from Lash Next Door. This is in the color Blackout. I don't use an eyelash curler, and a lot of people do. I've just never gotten the hang of using one. So I learned this trick of just using your hairdryer. So if you just put it on a cool setting, I don't recommend a high or a really hot setting, but just put it on a cool setting on your hairdryer, and then you just close your eyes and place it underneath each eye, and then it does the same effect that an eyelash curler does. So it'll make your eyelashes stand up. And then lastly, for my lips, I use the Shine lip pencil. I cannot remember the color of this one, but I will link it down below. And then I try to not go all the way across. I feel like it will give you a fuller look if you just do the very bottom and then the top, and then just take your finger. I just like to take my finger and just smooth it out and kind of bring it in. I think I got this from the Dollar General. I think Walmart carries this also. This is just Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink, but I also like to come back through and put a little bit of gloss on top, because I feel like the matte is sometimes really drying to your lips, but it is really great to stay on all day long. And then I don't use this every time, but because it is really warm outside, I think it's in the 90s today. Actually, we're having one of the hottest days of the year. I like to use this Model in a Bottle setting spray. I think it smells really good. And I think I just ordered this off of Amazon. It's Model in a Bottle. Okay, I'm going to quickly see what I can do with this hair. I have naturally wavy hair, which I have a love-hate relationship with it. I think when I was younger, it was a lot curlier, and then after having kids, I feel like it's not quite as curly as it used to be. So I tend to straighten it, or I will just put some soft curls in it, and that's typically how I wear it. But I have noticed when the humidity is really high in the summer that it just becomes very, very frizzy. So I have started trying to do the curly girl method, and so far that's been working pretty good this summer. And in another video, if you're interested in that, let me know and I will show you some of the products that I use for that. All right, so my girl's up this morning. Do you want to tell them where you're headed?
Work.
She got a summer job. I was a little sad about it, but she's been making all kinds of money. So now she can start buying me some stuff.
No.
Do you want to tell them a little bit about what you do?
I make ice cream.
Ice cream.
It's fun. I get to eat ice cream all the time. Work at an Italian ice shop, so we do Italian ices and ice cream and milkshakes and stuff like that. And I run the store by myself because we only have one person working at a time. So I ran the store on my second day working there.
Second day there. So crazy.
Yeah, second day there, I ran the store by myself, and it went well. But
Yeah, she did a great job. They just kind of threw her in there, but you've been loving it, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hudson is still asleep right now. I'll see if Hudson might want to go to the pool later. The subdivision that we're going to be building our house in has an HOA, but there's a pool there. And so I may, after we go by the renovation house, I might take you by the land that we've purchased, and then we might go to the pool. And maybe you can join us on one of your days off. Finally, we are headed out the door. Jason has not made it back. He had a couple of errands that he had to run today after his dentist appointment. So I am taking Hudson to the pool first, and then we will probably meet him over at the renovation project.
Hey guys, here we are at this old house that we've bought to fix up and resell and try to salvage. The previous owners had really started to let it go pretty bad. We had built a couple new houses just 3 or 4 houses down, and this one was pretty rough. We're trying to perk up the neighborhood and save this old place because it was a pretty neat old house and definitely worth saving. Here we are in the living room on this guy. It is, let me go over here to the corner so you can get a better shot of it. Very large living room for an older house, good layout, especially for a house around here. This house was built in 1965, and the average house here in 1965 was not really anything like this. This was a nice place when it was first built. They took a little more care than others, and a much better floor plan and layout than most places.
I love this picture window.
Big picture
Look
window.
at this huge tree out here, guys.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous.
This one looks big, but it's a baby compared to the guys in the backyard. We'll show you those shortly. But they are monster old growth maples. Really, really pretty old trees. We had an offer on this house last week, but the buyer wanted to cut those trees down, and I just couldn't do it. So I told the realtor, I was like, we might offer some money where they could do it after they bought the house. I said, but as long as we own it, there is 0 chance that I'm cutting these trees down. They are beautiful, big monster trees. Here's the kitchen, dining room we've just come through. Really nice dining room. From the kitchen through the dining room into the living room. Pretty good flow to the floor plan. Really big kitchen for an older house, especially an older house around here. This is probably twice the size of the average 1960s house here in Crossville. We rearranged the layout a lot, added this pantry. Still has some paint supplies and things left over from where we've been here working. And then recessed the refrigerator into the wall. A few wall cabinets. We don't have a lot because of this triple bay window, but the window was so nice that we didn't want to rearrange that for the sake of some extra cabinets. And then out the back, you get a really pretty view. The property here just goes just beyond that magnolia tree, which is a really pretty tree when it blooms out. And then the neighbors, traditionally, they've always cut that as hay, but I think that the owner of it's in poor health, so they've not done anything with it this year. There's a little bit of one of the big trees up there. You can kind of see how big the trunk is on that guy.
We'll take you around back. And then also, I will link this information we're in the Tennessee area, and so we will link, if you were looking for a home in Tennessee, I'll link that information down below.
Yeah, we'd certainly like to sell you one if you'd like to move here. We built this built-in coffee bar. Julie's idea. I think it really looks good. Use the space well and gives you a place to do your coffee or whatever other drinks that you want to do. A little bit of glass storage in these wall cabinets that are built there, some open shelving underneath, and then the electrical is down behind the unit where you come through one of these desk grommets. And then behind here is, behind this shelf is kind of hollow behind that area. And the electrical's down at the bottom edge of that, so you can plug into it easy, but you don't see it. In normal course of business, you'll never see any of the cords for your coffee equipment or whatever it is you choose to put up there. And then if we come off the kitchen, you come out into this little kind of vestibule hallway area, door out to the back deck, opening here into the garage. When we bought the house, this space had been converted into living space, but converted garages, unless you really take a lot of care, are never very comfortable. And I think this was actually a carport when the house was originally built. So we converted it back into a garage, made it a more functional space. You know, a lot of people would like that extra square footage. And we would too, really, but it's just that square footage never seems to be the same quality when it's a converted garage, unless you just really take a lot of care in your insulation and making sure your heat and air gets out there properly and all of that. So
this is one of my favorite rooms because, of course, this is your laundry, your washer and dryer can go here. But I love how it's so huge that you could even put in extra shelving. So this could be a secondary pantry.
yeah. And we talked about that in this area here. I don't know if you can see that. This area here originally had some shelving in here, and the whole room was laid out differently. The water heater was over here, and there had a heat and air unit, or just a heater, a furnace, where the water heater is now. It had some shelving there. That would be a great space for extra pantry type shelving that's easy access. When we were building one of our houses, we had a rental that had an old style utility room that had a wall of shelving in it that was super convenient. And this place could have that pretty easy. We might even actually probably should just go ahead and do that for people.
I think everyone loves extra pantry space.
Because we have, in all of our houses, we've had a pantry like this, which is great because it holds a lot of stuff, but the shelves are so deep that they kind of drive Julie crazy because you can't, when it's full, it's hard to see what's in the back half of it. So she likes those shallow shelves where everything is easy access, easy to see, and easy to grab.
That's kind of the same thing with living in an RV. You have very deep shelves, and so it's hard. They're dark, and it's just hard to get back there.
Yeah, easy for things to get lost.
I'm excited for our new house that's coming. We're building a new house eventually,
And then this is all of the hallway that the house has, which is more of just an open area that leads you into this room, which was originally the master bedroom of this house when it was built, and it was just a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So this is the biggest bedroom, but when we got it, and actually the previous owners had already done this, they'd converted it to a 3-bedroom, 2 bath. And then we bumped this wall out to make the original bathroom a little bigger and a little more comfortable. This room had plenty of space, so it didn't need it. And then it's got just traditional old double closets. No walk-ins in it. That wasn't really a thing when this was built. But it does have nice double closets rather than singles. Plenty of space. And then this is where the original bathroom was. It was in very poor condition. Floors rotted. Everything basically garbage. So we redid it completely, pushed this wall here a foot to make the room a little roomier. It was just the width of the tub originally, which is pretty standard, you know, a 5-foot wide bathroom and pretty typical. Just normal vanity, toilet, easy layout. But we put a nice new tub in it, tile surround for the shower, all new fixtures, and then here's one of the extra bedrooms. This is the smallest of the 3. Nice view out the back. Shot of one of the bigger trees. You can barely see this big guy right out the corner. And then a double closet again. Just nice, good, clean, normal storage space. And now we move on to what is currently the master. It is just a tiny bit smaller, I think, than the original master. Quite a bit larger than the 3rd bedroom. And then this room had been added on. Once again, still very poor condition, floors falling out of it and everything. So it's all been completely redone, all new, new double vanity, modern lighting, modern mirrors. Stand-up shower in this one, but a big one. No tub for this room, but a very large stand-up shower, larger than a typical tub is. Added this little linen closet, nice shelving in it. It's always convenient to have a place to put your towels and whatnot. The same toilet that's in the other room. We've got these in our house now where they're the dual flush button types. Seems to work pretty good.
I love this modern sink.
Yeah.
So pretty.
The vanity was very nice. It was something that Lowe's had on I guess a closeout. It was online. They were still available at normal quantities at the time, but they were on a pretty healthy discount. And a real nice modern feel, suits what we were doing with the house. Really pretty vanity. Kind of wish we should have bought maybe more than one of those while they were on sale, because they're long gone now.
And I know he did say that this was a sad situation first coming into this, but I'm going to let him elaborate a little bit more on that. It was very, very sad. There was toddlers living in here, and what was the floors like?
Oh, it was filthy. It was, I mean, there was dogs and cats all in it, and they were not apparently house trained because it was a mess. All these original hardwoods, which we saved everywhere. I sanded them down, sanded a lot to get down through the stained areas, and refinished these. It turned into a very pretty floor.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty.
But original oak from when the house was built. They were very bad. We did 2 40-yard construction dumpsters, which are the largest job site dumpsters that you'll usually see. One was completely full of just trash, household trash and junk. The other was a lot of household trash and then building materials. And when we did the new roof, of course, the old shingles and whatnot went in there, but it was pretty bad. We'll go out the back deck here and go and look at these trees. This is one of these big monster trees. This one's kind of short and squatty compared to the others. Huge base on it. It's still a very tall tree, very large tree, but nothing like these two.
I'm kind of sad because the camera really doesn't give it justice.
Oh, no, it doesn't. They are.
I'm going to go out and stand by
Yeah.
the tree so you get a better.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll do that.
Little, but I'm going to stand by it.
Yeah. Julie's going to go stand by the tree to give you a little bit of frame of reference so you can see how big this thing is. I think it would take probably 4 fairly large adults to be able to reach their arms around it. It is a big guy. So there gives you a little feel of it. It's not redwoods big, but it's big for around here.
You could tell them that they could put a really pretty swing.
You could, yeah, you could do you a big rope swing here. The other trees, the limbs are much taller, but this one would suit for that if you wanted to do a rope swing or something with a nice seat on it. Here's that magnolia again. And then there are 2 of these big, beautiful maples here. And then another in the front yard. This guy is the tallest of the bunch. And I don't know how tall it is, well over 100 feet. And probably, I don't know. I don't really know how tall it is, but it's huge. And then the canopy, I don't know, it's probably 150 feet tall. The canopy is probably 80 feet across. And like I said, originally that buyer said they wanted to trim it up. And I said, well, I don't know, like maybe, but I said a lot of it's over the house. They were afraid of ice, but the house, I mean, the tree's at least 60 years old. It's super healthy. It's survived every ice and snowstorm we've ever had. You know, short of being struck by lightning or anything, I don't think the thing's ever going anywhere. It is, I mean, it seems to be in great condition. But like I said, I just couldn't do it. Didn't have the heart to consider cutting these guys down. To me, they're probably worth more than the house is. Here we've got a longer zoomed out shot of those trees. You can see compared to the house how big those guys are. This one in the front yard, really pretty tree too. Not quite as big as the ones in the back, but it's close.
All right, guys, we're going to close out this video. We had to come back inside because it is like in the 90s today.
Oh, it's rough.
It is crazy hot. Again, I will link everything down in the description box. If you are moving to Tennessee or know someone that might be interested in this property, please send us a message and let us know, and we'll get you hooked up.